Tekken is my favorite fighting game franchise, and not only because of how memorable it is in terms of gameplay, characters, and charm, but also because it played a huge part in my childhood, with Tekken 3 being my first fighting game and one of my earliest memories when it comes to video games in general. Eventually, I got to the two previous games as well, and subsequent titles in the franchise. And while the new games are for sure better in terms of graphics and possibly roster as well, I wanna think I'm not alone when I say the original trilogy was Tekken at its best. In fact, I'm planning on making a video on this trilogy soon, so keep an eye out on that. But today, I wanna actually talk about an entry in this beloved franchise that not a lot of people remember, Tekken Advance. This spin-off title was not only the first portable title in the series, but also the first game in a Nintendo console. And as many other PS1 titles at the time, Tekken got a pocket-sized edition port of their already established formula. To be more specific, this was a Tekken 3 port, with a little bit of Tekken Tag in it as well. Also, a bit of an unpopular opinion, maybe, but I like to think of these downsized ports as demakes rather than ports. I don't know if you guys feel the same as me, but if you do, feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyway, as I mentioned before, this is not a part of the main storyline Tekken games. It is in canon, and due to the limitations of the GBA, a lot of the features are downscaled from what you would otherwise be used to in the PS1 games. For starters, instead of using 3D models, this game works with 2D sprites based on the PS1 models, which is a pretty clever thing to do actually, as you don't necessarily need to redo the sprites from scratch, making essentially this title the only Tekken that was in 2D, as all the subsequent portable games will go on to use actual 3D models. There's also the button limitation. In the original trilogy, you could use the 4 buttons on your PS1 controller to perform different punches and kicks. But since the GBA only had A and B to work with, you could only use one for both punch and kick, limiting the moveset the character has, although they still manage to keep their essential individual moves. It is also worth mentioning that you can pause in this game to see a list of the commands each character can perform with the limited moveset they have, which includes pretty sick combos actually. Staying on the topic of limitations, this Tekken has the shortest character roster in the entire series, being comprised of the characters you see on the selection screen plus Heihachi, who you unlock as you complete arcade mode with every character. So this pretty much means Nokuma, Anna, Brian, Eddie, Julia, etc. There's also no lore or cutscenes of any character included in this game. Now let's talk about the outfits and backgrounds, because they are also an evidence of limitations being a big factor in the development of this game, as the alternate outfits from the characters are just color swaps depending on which button you press on the character selection screen. And two characters share one background, albeit color changed as well. Although one thing that they kept, and which actually works pretty well in this port, are the extra modes, meaning Team Battle, Survival, Time Attack, Practice, and Tag Battle, which pretty much emulates the same type of gameplay used in Tekken Tag, meaning you can swap between characters during a fight. Despite all the limitations, Tekken Advance is a pretty cool port of Tekken 3, and a little bit of Tekken Tag that showcases how interesting some titles can turn out when they get pretty much a demake treatment into a console with a lot less power than what it originated with. Trust me, I'm someone who grew up with a GBA, so getting to play stuff like Crash and Spyro in this portable capacity back in the day was pretty nuts actually. And obviously nowadays, with stuff like the Switch and the Steam Deck, it will not be surprising to see people not play this, but Tekken 8 on the go. And even though I know that's the case with technology improving so fast, I don't think anything will take anyone the joy out of having a good time with this little version of Tekken, even if you only do it for a little bit, because let's be real here, this is ultimately the Tekken that has the least amount of content, but it's Tekken on the GBA, so it's definitely worth checking out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if this one felt a bit shorter than usual, but there is really not a lot to be said about this game. I just wanted to talk about it and to light up a nostalgia light bulb in people's minds if anyone watching this has played this. If there's any GBA title that you wish me to cover in the future, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it and subscribe. It really helps me out and motivates me to continue doing content. I also stream on Twitch almost every night, so feel free to drop by and hang out for a bit and chat if you want. And with that said, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!